Did you know the average buyer is already like 70% of the way through their decision process before they even speak to a rep? Yeah, the old maps just don't work anymore. Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're embarking on a pretty fascinating expedition straight into the heart of the modern sales landscape. If you're in sales, manage a team, or run a business, you already know the ground beneath our feet is shifting, and it's shifting fast. We're analyzing a highly concentrated piece of source material today that maps out the exact survival gear you need for this journey, namely strategic intelligence and efficiency. So, strap in, because we're going to decode exactly how to navigate this terrain together.
Okay, let's dive right into this by addressing the massive roller coaster in the room. Are you absolutely exhausted by the endless peaks and valleys of your sales cycle? I mean, one month you're on top of the world, closing deals left and right in an absolute frenzy. And then, the very next month you're staring at an empty pipeline, utterly drained, kind of wondering if you've completely forgotten how to sell, right? This boom and bust cycle is the universal pain point for practically everyone in the industry. It saps your energy, it makes forecasting a complete nightmare, and frankly, it just isn't a sustainable way to build a career or a business. But what if those wild fluctuations aren't just bad luck? What if they're actually a symptom of using outdated tools in a brand new world?
Which brings us to Section 1, the new sales environment.
See, we've fundamentally moved into completely uncharted territory. We're looking at a stark contrast between the old environment and the new environment. In the old world, legacy methods, like, say, static scripts, they worked. You could rely on a pretty predictable buyer journey and a standard set of closing tactics. But the source material makes a really specific, absolutely crucial point here. A new environment demands new skills. You literally cannot navigate a new landscape with an old compass. Today, you aren't just pitching, you're acting as a consultant, synthesizing complex market data on the fly. Relying on what worked 5 years ago, or heck, even 5 months ago, is just a recipe for getting lost. We absolutely have to adapt and acquire these entirely new skills.
Moving right along to Section 2, Strategic Intelligence in Action.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the specific wording our source uses. It doesn't just say, be smart or do your research before a call. No, it explicitly states that participants must learn how to use intelligence specifically during the sales process. And guys, this is a massive distinction. Strategic intelligence here isn't just static data. It's an active, real-time mechanism. Think about it. If a prospect mentions a sudden budget cut midway through your pitch, strategic intelligence isn't just stubbornly sticking to your script. No way. It's instantly pivoting to highlight your product's immediate cost-saving ROI. It means reading the room, interpreting new information on the fly, and actively applying your expertise while the sale is actually happening. It's basically the difference between memorizing a map before a hike and actively using a compass while you're actually out walking through the woods.
And that takes us to Section 3, Mastering Time Efficiency. This brings us to our second vital survival tool, learning how to use time wisely. And let's be super clear about what this means in this context, okay? Efficiency is not simply about doing things faster, because rushing just leads to mistakes, missed signals, and lost deals. Using time wisely means the deliberate, strategic management of your absolute most limited resource. It's all about knowing when to sprint and when to pace yourself. This means ruthless qualification. If your strategic intelligence tells you a prospect just doesn't have the buying power, well, time efficiency dictates that you politely exit the conversation and redirect your energy to a high-probability target. You're automatically figuring out how to stop wasting time on dead ends, which, as you'll see, allows you to invest your energy where it actually counts.
Next up is Section 4, Surviving Peaks and Valleys. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we are up against, a highly fluctuating sales cycle characterized by severe peaks and valleys. The peaks? Well, those are the boom times. They're exhilarating, incredibly fast-paced, and they demand a massive output of immediate active intelligence. Then come the valleys, the busts, those slow periods that can honestly induce absolute panic. But the secret unlocked by our source material is that you need both of your new skills to navigate this entire cycle. You need intense, active intelligence during the peaks to maximize those high-opportunity moments without dropping the ball, and conversely, you need incredibly wise time management during the valleys. The valleys aren't a time to panic at all. They actually require calm, deliberate strategy to build the momentum you're going to need to climb the next peak.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is distilling everything we've uncovered from the source into these core actionable steps. Step 1, you must use intelligence during the sales process. We've got to stop relying on autopilot. Start actively analyzing and adapting in real time while you're engaging with the market. And step 2, you must use time wisely to get over the peaks and through the valleys. Stop letting the calendar control you. Instead, use your high-energy times to aggressively close and use those slower times deliberately to prospect and refine. These are the new skills absolutely required for the new environment. By mastering these two steps, you actively stabilize that erratic, terrifying sales terrain and turn it into a manageable, highly successful journey.
I really want to leave you with a final thought today, just to sort of challenge your current methodology. Are you using your valleys to prepare for your next peak? Or are you just sitting in the valley, stressing out, and waiting for the landscape to miraculously change on its own? Remember, the new environment demands new skills. So the next time you find yourself in a valley, I challenge you to deploy your strategic intelligence and actually use that time wisely. Build the bridge to your next peak. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'll see you next time.